All right. Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to talk about time management and productivity, and I'm going to jump right into it because I have a lot to talk about. Um, let's rock and roll. And if you are at a place where you can write some stuff down, you need to do that. Trying to get my screen the way I want it. On the sidebar. There we go. All right. So time management and productivity. A lot of times we get really overwhelmed in this business because there's so many things that we need to be doing, but we end up freezing and not doing anything. So we get overwhelmed by everything we need to do. We don't know where we should focus our time. You feel guilty about giving attention to your team or your family member, or to your team or your business versus your family members. You get burnout because you're doing so much at once. Or sometimes we feel like our success in our business has really become a curse because we are just overwhelmed. So we've got to create a positive lifestyle in our business. And a change in lifestyle is why we started, right? We want something different. We want something that we can stay at home with our kids. We want something that gives us flexibility with our time. And a lot of times starting out, you feel like this is supposed to be giving you more time, and really it's taking up more time than it is giving you time, right? But it's impossible to do this without a little bit of time management. So when we're ineffective with our time, we have a slow team building progress with lack of momentum. We see strain on our family and our relationships, and an always on lifestyle. So we're always on the phone. We always have our phone. Every time the phone buzzes, we're on the phone. We answer every single message that comes in every single second of the day. Every time there's a red bubble, we make it go away. Or I do anyway. Some of y'all don't. I don't know if Kristen's on here, but she's one of them. And then that just leads to extreme burnout and overwhelm. So, and just because your business is a success does not mean business success is not equal to personal success, okay? You can be successful in your business and completely be failing as a human being or in your life personally, okay? So you have to find that happy medium and that even playing field, that balance between work and family. You know, we do this in our normal jobs, and, you know, we go to work and then we come home with our family. And then when we throw in this second job that we're trying to make our first job, we kind of lose sense of that balance, trying to make our new business our balance. So our goal in life should be both to have personal success and business success. So the first things we have to do is we have to create boundaries around our time, and we've got to eliminate the randomness of our work, okay? We need to be very specific about what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, and sorry, I don't like coughing here. And we have to create those boundaries around our time because our time is valuable. Kristen said it really good the other day in a video. She was talking about why we feel like we have to send our kids to practice when they're sick just so that they get some playing time. And then she made the point of, you know, I respect the coach's time by making sure that my son is at practice 15 minutes early, but he can't respect my time by making sure that they get out when they're supposed to get out. So you have to create boundaries around your time and stick to it. Don't break the boundaries. So your boundaries are going to be clear rules about when you will and will not be working your business. For me and most people, there have been no boundaries for a really long time. I try to, unless it's the last day of the month, I really try to make sure that, you know, if we're out doing something, if we're at dinner, that I'm not doing business things while we're together as a family. But that's really the only boundary that I've created in this business. And like I said, like we're never turned off from our devices. We're never turned off from Facebook, and we're never turned off from messaging people, and we're never turned off from our teams or just being on our device anyway. And when you do that all the time, it's it's teaching your loved ones that you're not there 100%. You're not 100% present in the conversation you're having with them or in the things that you're doing together. And it's really important and actually like critical for you to have periods of dedicated rest and to have time where you like unwind. I mean, that's what we do when we get off work, right? We unwind and we relax. But really, when we're getting off work, we're working more, right? So we have to have periods that we actually unwind and that we don't think about the business for a minute. And it's something that you need to be doing for yourself. This is something for you. Because you can't be 100% at anything if you're not taking care of yourself. Let's see here. Here's a couple examples of the boundaries that we all need to set with our teams, and is business hours. We need to set office hours for our teams. Now that doesn't mean that if somebody messages you that you can't answer them, but if you tell your team, hey, my office hours are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3:30 to 5, you can feel free to message. You can feel free to message me anytime. And if I have time, I'll get to you. But if not, I'm going to respond to you Monday, Wednesday, or Friday between 3 and 5 p.m. Okay. And then also, which I think we've kind of established recently within my team, and I think Tiffany has done this as well as a leader of her team, what type of questions you're willing to answer versus those that can be answered with an available resource. So going out and finding the answer versus just coming to your sponsor with the question. If it has something to do with the comp plan, if it has something to do with customer support, if it has anything to do with something you can find your back office, you need to be going out there, not just you, but your team needs to know that they need to be going out there to find that answer. And then if they're not able to find that answer, then come back to you, because those are questions that can be answered through an available resource, and you don't have to answer all of those questions. And it's not good for you to be available to your team 100% of the time, because what you're doing is you're teaching your team that they have to be available 100% of the time. And that gets overwhelming. I know it's overwhelming for me. And it gets overwhelming for your team to think, oh my gosh, every time I send her a message, she answers me. Am I going to have to be like that in my business? Like, it's 4:00 in the morning and she just woke up out of her sleep to answer my message. Let's see here. And just the same as you're setting business hours for your team and for your business, you need to set time and schedule a day or evening every day to focus 100% on your spouse or on your family. And because you don't want your family to feel trapped by your work. You don't want them to feel like all you do is work all the time. Even though the end goal that you're striving for is to have more time with them, you don't want to push them away in the time that you're getting there. Because we all have that period where we're trying to get there and we're just not quite there yet. And there's not enough, doesn't seem to be enough hours in the day. Okay. The other thing, so we talked about creating boundaries. The other thing we have to do is eliminate the randomness of our work. So we clearly have to define our priorities. We need to schedule our business hours. We need to create a plan for our prospecting or our, sharing the opportunity, our social media posts, our group trainings, our follow-ups, all the tasks that we're trying to do every day. We need to sit down and create a plan of exactly when we're going to do those things. And 80% of your time needs to be on income producing activities. Okay. Income producing activities. If you don't know what those are, go watch a video about it. Let's see. What else do we got to talk about here? So what we're going to do, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about scheduling your week in advance. And maybe you can't sit down and schedule your whole week in advance, but I want everybody to try to do this. I'm going to show you what I've done. And actually, I've just done the rest of this week. So starting tomorrow, through Sunday, I have scheduled out the rest of my week in advance. And then on Sunday, I have scheduled time to schedule my next week out in advance. And the first thing you need to know when you're scheduling your week in advance is that it's not going to be perfect. If it's perfect, you are a freaking miracle worker, okay? Like, you can do amazing things if you make this exactly, if everything works out exactly how it's planned, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what our priorities are. What are the things that we have to get done every day? What are we going to make sure that gets done in our schedule? Okay? I forgot anything. Okay. So we're going to clearly define our priorities in our life. We're going to define what tasks that need to take place to accomplish your priorities. We're going to create a weekly ideal schedule, including a morning ritual and quitting time. Okay. And we're going to implement our pre-planned schedule with speed. Okay. Are y'all ready? Has anybody said anything? Y'all know to raise your hand if you need something. I can't really see but half the screen, but that's okay. All right, girls. Let's get into this, because this is going to be, I really think this is going to be a game changer for me. I have not done this yet. I just planned my week out today. I got off work early, and I just planned the rest of my week out today. So we're going to see how this works. But so far, I like how it's looking on paper. We'll see how it works in real life. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is define what your priorities are. What are your priorities? So seriously, sit down and write them out. What are your top 2 or 3 priorities in your life? And if your business isn't one of them, then you shouldn't even be here. So, a couple examples of priority: your job, your finances, your health, friends, faith, children, spouse, family, and of course, your business. Those are some areas that a lot of people consider as their top priorities. I think all of them are priorities for everyone, but we want the top 2 and 3. Okay. And then I want you to think about how you actually spend your time. Are you saying that your family is a priority, but you're not spending time with them? Are you saying that your business is a priority, but you're not working it? Are you saying that your faith is a priority, but you're not doing the things that go along with your faith, right? When we're able to really narrow this down and get super specific in our priorities, the faster and the bigger results we're going to see, okay? And we have to get clear on what to say yes to. And when you're clear about what you can say yes to, you can say no to everything else and not feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about telling somebody, no, I can't do that. And you don't have to give excuses. I've talked about this before, but we're not going to get into that. You don't have to make an excuse. You can simply say no. And you shouldn't feel guilty for saying no to things that take up your time. You need to be moving forward towards your goals and the important things in your life. And when you reach the point, okay, for example, let's talk about taking on too many roles at once. My kids have soccer. I told Dustin this year, they asked Dustin to coach. I said, well, who are you going to get as an assistant? Well, I don't know. You don't want to help? No, I don't. My priorities are different, and my time that you guys are at soccer practice is going to be my time to work, because nobody will be in the house, and that's my time. So you better find you an assistant, or you're going to be doing it by yourself, because I'm not. I will be there for games. I will even sit on the sideline on the bench with you guys, but I am not going to be the assistant coach. I'm not doing it. I'm also the vice president of the Archery Booster Club. I enjoy that. I'm not going to tell them no right now, unless it gets to be crazy. Because I really don't have to do that much as vice president. I just kind of show up. So those are just a few things that, you get asked to do all these things and volunteer as a parent when your kids are in sports and, all this crap. You can say no and don't feel bad about it, because right now it's not a priority. But when you have time to do those things, it can be a priority later, right? All right. Let's see. And you've just got to make peace with the fact that some things aren't priorities and don't deserve your time. And the fact that there are going to be some things that are left undone in your schedule, okay? If you go into the mindset of I'm going to do my best to plan out my week and follow my week, but I know that life happens and sometimes things have to be overlooked. That's why we'll get into that in just a second. But that's why we're prioritizing. And just so you guys know, a prioritized life does not balance, okay? It doesn't mean that you've got this perfect life. It just means that you're going to go all in to what matters the absolute most to you. Okay, I already said all that. Okay, so the next step in scheduling your week in advance is to define your success list. So you know what your priorities are. Now you want to know what needs to take place each day or each week to move those priorities forward, okay? And we're talking like 1 to 3 activities per priority, all right? So if it's family time, for me, family time is dinner, family time is homework, and then family time is like usually a sports activity or just hanging out and chilling with the kids for a little while. So 3 activities per priority. Again, if you get too many tasks going at once, you're just going to be overwhelmed. And you want to make sure that these tasks that you are performing are the most impactful to helping you accomplish whatever that priority is. And then you want to label your tasks as what you should do or what you could do. Okay? Whatever you should do are the ones that you should make a priority over the ones you could do. Okay? So we're prioritizing the priorities. And if y'all have never heard of this, I don't know how to say this guy's name, whoever this man is, his law says that 20% of your activities create 80% of your success. So just know that 20% of your activities create 80% of your success. That's kind of like the 80-20 rule with our teams. 20% of your team is creating 80% of your success, right? All right. So we're going to create our ideal week. I'm going to show you guys mine so that you guys can get an idea of, and mine's it's still a little shaky. It's a work in progress. Still working on it. It's okay. But I have a plan for tomorrow, and I've got an outline of what I'm going to do the rest of the week. All right. We need to stop crash landing into Monday. We need to make sure that we are going into Monday strong with a plan and knowing what we're going to do. Because I feel like once Monday hits, people freak out and they have this, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And then they don't do it because Monday hits and you're like, no, a Monday. So every single hour of your day needs to have a name. Even if it's personal time, lunchtime, give your hours a name. Okay. And again, remember the perfect week. It's rare that the perfect week is going to happen. Okay. You're probably not going to look at this and be like, oh, all of this is going to go exactly as planned, because it's probably not, because life happens, right? And the other thing, the great thing about scheduling out your week like this is that you're not wasting time thinking about what you need to do next. If you've got it written down in a schedule, you're going to know exactly what you should be doing. And you need to make sure that you are dedicating 100% on what you have scheduled for that hour. Okay? 100%. And I thought this was a great little quote. It says, don't do everything you can do in a day. Instead, do everything you should do. Right? Okay, let me show you. I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you guys this. This is not mine. Give me just a second here. Okay. All right, can y'all see this? So this is just an example of the leader, the training feller that did this. So he's got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and doesn't do anything on the weekends. Spaced out every single time with something to do. I'm going to show you mine too because I think I like mine. I think it's pretty cool. But anything down to, so like he breaks this down into backstage and front stage. Backstage being like, okay, if you're planning a training, if you're planning your parties, if you're creating like creating videos and posts for your parties, those would be things that you're doing backstage. Your front stage things would be things that you are doing like Facebook Lives, posting in your parties, whatever you're doing that is actually something that other people are going to see, I guess. Planning team meetings, doing Zoom calls, doing your office hours, those types of things. All right, let me stop that. And I'm going to show you mine. Okay, so here is my plan for tomorrow. Let me scroll down and see what I'm... All right. So I have this little planner, and I really, really like it. And I bought it for this purpose, but I haven't used it all year, and I'm down to the last 3 months in it, so I'm going to have to buy a new one. So this is called a Day Designer Planner, okay? Day Designer, and it is by Blue Sky. So you can go to bluesky.com. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, so I love this little planner because it has your months, okay? It has a whole month here, and it's got big boxes so you can write all kinds of stuff in it. It's not a huge calendar either. I mean, it's a decent size, but it's not as big as the purple planner, and it's not, I would say, maybe it gives me dimensions. I don't care what the dimensions are. It's probably like an 8x8. It's not like an 8x11. It's not quite a full sheet of paper. So then you've got this, and like I said, I haven't finished this, but you've got today's schedule. This is Wednesday, August the 22nd. Today's schedule from 6 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. Okay. And then over here, I haven't filled this in yet, but you've got your today's top 3. So there are my top 3 things that should get done. And then over here in the to-do section, I can put things that are could be done. And I like it because it has like little, it's got a little quote. It says, who understands much forgives much. So it's got a little quote on everything. And then down at the bottom, it's just nice because it says tonight and gratitude. So I'm going to try to write down something I'm grateful for every night at the end of the night. But here's how I broke it down. So because tomorrow, y'all, the struggle is real. I am lucky to get up before 8 a.m. Let's just be honest. And I've got a nurse off the rest of the week. She was supposed to go see a patient this morning to draw a lab that is due at a specific time before his antibiotic. Well, he had a doctor's appointment. And now I have to go. I have to drive like 40 miles. I'm going to have to leave my house at like 6:45. So this is an early day for me. Anyway, so from anywhere between 6 and 7, okay, I have my morning routine. Stop laughing, Christina. It is not funny. My morning routine. And I'm going to start implementing in my morning routine. Now, tomorrow, you ain't going to see me live. You're going to see me post a picture of the basic, I'm tired as crap, up early makeup look. I didn't have time for a live because I don't wake up early. So tomorrow will not include a live video. But my morning routine is going to be, getting up, fixing my coffee, listening to, I need to find a new podcast. I don't have time to read in the morning because, hello, I do not get up early. So I need to find something to listen to, be it my book. I do have a book that I'm listening to and a podcast, but I would like to make it a consistent podcast and not necessarily a book that's going to change every so often. So then once I arrive at this patient's house at 7:30 in the morning, because that's so early, I've got every patient. So I've got Jerry scheduled at 7:30. I'm going to be there until close to 8:30 out in BFE. And then I've got drive time plus personal development, okay, in my middle slots. And then I've got each of my patients, and then I schedule lunch. And lunch, I'm also going to make a post on my personal wall. And then I've got the rest of my patients. And every time I drive, I'm going to have my personal development on because, guys, personal development is important. And if I have time to sit and listen to the radio, I have time to listen to personal development. And even though I like to sing on the radio, with the radio, oh, man, stay with free. We got 10 minutes. Even though I like to listen to the radio, I really need to be doing personal development so that I don't act like Christine and kill people on the road. And, yeah, it's because I have road rage too. So then, I haven't posted this to you all in my team. My office hours tomorrow are going to be from 3:30 to 4:30. And those are early. You know why? Because I'm getting up at the butt crack of dawn, and I'm going to finish at the butt crack of dawn too. So I'm going to finish early. I'll be done from 3:30 to 4:30 to have office time that I can talk to my team, that I can plan out, go and Kristen's going to be doing a video in my team this Saturday. So I'm going to talk to her about what her topic's going to be and what time and things like that. And then between 5 and 6:30, because soccer practice tomorrow, yes, free time, no kids. And the great thing is that Cameron doesn't have soccer practice on Wednesday, but he goes and helps Dustin. So yes, no kids, just the dumb dog. From 5 to 6:30, I've got create party script posts, do my task list, and I wrote down soccer practice just so I know that the kids wouldn't be home. So I'm going to do my party script posts from 5 to 5:30 or 5 to 6, and then from 6 to 7, I'm going to do my task list. And then from 7 to 8 is dinner and family time. And then my time after that, I will probably do some relationship building on Facebook between 9 and 10. But I'm done staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning scrolling on Facebook. I don't know about y'all. All right, so then I do the same thing for the next day, except I don't have to be up to the butt crack of dawn, so I can do my live video instead of just my morning routine. And I've got all my patients to see, and then I'm going to have office hours for about an hour, and then do more of my party posts and my task. Oh, I need to include in there did y'all know, by the way, in your groups, you can schedule posts now. So if you are not doing parties in groups, I don't know if you can do that in events or not, but I know you can do it in groups. If you're not doing your parties in groups, I would suggest doing them in groups because you can schedule them like for the next day. I think it's for 24 hours from whatever time it is. So that's going to be how I do my parties from now on. I schedule them the night before and put them in there. That'll be my tasks when I get some parties booked. And then skipping on, blah, 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 more office time on Friday. And then my weekend. So this is what the weekend looks like. It's a little bit different because you don't need as many hours in the weekend, right? You're chilling. So it says take time out and fun things to do. It's got a though, look at that. See patients. I'm on call. So it's got from 6. Oh, it does have from 6 to 8 on here, but it doesn't. This one breaks it down into half-hour increments. This one is the weekends are hours. And then I plan my stuff for my team post for next week. I'm going to book parties Saturday night between 6 and 8. The kids are usually with my parents, so no family time, Dustin, sorry. And on Sunday evening, I did block out some space for family here. We don't have any plans, but I did block out some space. And from 5 to 6, I'm going to start my party groups and schedule my welcome posts for the next day. And from 7 to 8, I'm going to plan my next week. Okay? So that's just my little example of, don't fall off there. And again, that is a bluesky.com day designer. All right, let me see if there's anything else I need to tell y'all. We've still got 6 minutes. I I already told you there's no such thing as a perfect week, but you make the plan to see, I'm getting distracted by my phone. Should put that thing on airplane mode, but I'm on call. Make the plan and do the best you can to stick to it. But life happens, and don't let that get you down. Try to get back on schedule. If I have to go see another patient, obviously I'm probably going to cut out my office hours because that's not necessarily an income producing activity for me. It's something that I could do for my team and spend time with my team, but it's not something that I should do it too, but it's not a priority over, I have to do my job and I have to go see patients. So if life throws me a bone and I have to go see an extra patient that day, I have to do that. And remember that 1 is none and 2 is 1. So always have a minimum of 2 plans in place because, like I said, life happens. So I know that if my work day goes longer, then I'm going to have to take something away. So that's why we are prioritizing these things. And let's see. All right, we're good for a minute. Starting your day has everything to do with how your day is going to go and how you can end your day. You cannot crash land into each morning. You've got to begin with a plan. You've got to have a plan in place. Even if that routine is waking up, brushing your teeth, peeing, weighing, drinking coffee, reading a devotional, listening to a podcast, whatever those things are, make it a routine and do it every morning and detach yourself from your phone. Do not let your phone be the first thing you check in the morning. Leave that thing on the charger, face down, on silent if you're not on call, and leave it there while you do your morning routine. And then you can get on your phone for whatever else you need to do. And you control that. You control your morning ritual. So you control whether or not you pick up that stupid phone and start scrolling through Facebook and reading people's messages. And make your morning routine, make that a priority. Okay? Make it a priority because you should be a priority. Your morning routine and ritual should be a priority to you. And that's going to start your day off with all right, I've knocked the morning routine out. What's next? Let's go. So it gets you on that path of doing things. And this one's really hard for me, not hitting the snooze button. Did you know that hitting the snooze button can cost you up to 4 hours of productivity a day? Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm going to do all that's in my power to wake up in the morning when the alarm clock goes off and not have to make my husband wake me up. I've already told my boss she's going to have to call me and make sure I'm up tomorrow. Let's see. All right. Last thing we're going to talk about is implementing your pre-planned schedule with speed. The speed of how quickly you implement this is going to determine whether you succeed or fail. If you're stuck, it's because of your speed. You've got way too many tasks on your to-do list. You've got way too many irons in the fire, and you don't even know where to start, and you're just running around in circles and not accomplishing anything. So if you plan a schedule and do one thing at a time, pick that thing, jump in head first and get it done and move on to the next. And stop worrying about what the right decision is. Action is going to help. Implementing this plan into action is going to help you create some clarity in your life. And when you start taking action, you're going to make the decision right versus making the right decision. Okay. All right. We've got less than a minute. That's all I got. Does anybody have questions? We're going to get cut off here. I'm going to stop the recording